Good morning. Hap- I'm so glad to be here. I am so glad that you clicked on this video and you have decided to join me as well this bright, shiny, sunny Sunday morning. At least it is that way here, I believe. I looked out the window. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. But I have my pink coffee cup. I hope you have your coffee as well. Mm, delicious. So, how was your week? Looks like we've got some people already here. We've got Carl is here. Good morning. Coffee with Keto Brains, ready for the live. I am so glad you're here, Carl. Charlie is here. Good morning, Charlie. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch our live that we did together yesterday, set aside 2 hours, sit down, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. It was good. We had a good time. Talked about a lot of things. It was a lot of fun. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Jeff is here. Uncle Big Guy is here. SD Bradley is here. All right. Yeah, I had a good week. Um, was on track most of the week. Last night I did. So I went to a wedding reception last night. One of my oldest friends, really. We met my sophomore year in high school. Um, and he had got married earlier in the year. His mother had been diagnosed with cancer and wanted to go ahead and get a marriage and wedding out of the way without having a big to do. So she was able to be involved. Unfortunately, she has since passed away. But now they were able to plan and have a big reception. We went to that yesterday. Um, Friends of mine from high school, from all of that stuff, and then another friend of ours that was there. Um, Yesterday with us. He's one of my oldest friends as well. I met him or at the same time. His father had passed away like early yesterday morning. So it was a bittersweet get together. Um, it just shows like that we are getting older and that time that we spend with our families and the time that we spend with our friends and the people we care about most is so very valuable. You just don't know how much you're going to have. And I don't want to make this a Debbie Downer episode or anything like that. I just wanted to touch on that because I mean that is something that's going on in my personal life. And um, so my friend's father that passed away, he was a teacher at our school. So he obviously couldn't get away with anything in school. He had to be good. He had to watch his P's and Q's when dad is down the hall. um, uh, you know, just one of those things like just to try and take the time to appreciate all the time that like when we get together and we get the chance to spend time together as a keto community, or when you're spending time with your kids or your parents, if you still have parents. Oh, that's why I am so very fortunate that I get to spend as much time with my granddaughter as that we do, or my granddaughter that we do, because you just almost sit and you can see them like literally growing like weeds. Like my friend, his daughters that were there yesterday, and they're so big. And it's like every time I see them, they're like 5 years older. It's just, time goes by so fast. But I want to say thank you to Evelyn. Evelyn is here. Good morning, dear. Thank you so very much for being here. Brian Doyle is here. Thank you so much. He said he is driving this AM, so not going to be able to chat very much. That is fine. Ron's Keto Cafe is here. Good morning, Dustin and friends. Evelyn did a fast yesterday, cut out the coffee, have a major caffeine headache this morning. I have coffee. I've done my cutting out of coffee. I don't like it. I don't think it benefits me. I do typically cut coffee when I'm doing like a water fast, uh, but I prepare for that in advance. I will prepare and usually cut coffee a day or so before, and we'll do something like ibuprofen and make sure I'm getting plenty of electrolytes and all that stuff before the actual fast starts, so I can kind of get a jump on anything, so the fast can be successful and it's not miserable. So yeah, but you've got this. John Gugahan is here. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Yes. So, one thing that I wanted to talk about today is because I was at this function yesterday and I got to see people. So, we had some friends that were at high school with us that had flown in from Texas, and they grew up with us, basically went to high school with us. And then they have been they've been married now 21 years. So, they got married early compared to almost anybody else that I know. And they like to wander off. They just do. They were in the Peace Corps for like 2 tours. They've wandered off. They've been to Africa. They've done all kinds of like when they were in the Peace Corps, they were in like Samoa. They just like to wander off and go check out the world. And I think that's something that a lot of us would probably like to do, but don't even necessarily know how to do. I would love to see the world. I don't necessarily know if I'd want to do it like they did, where they're off in all these countries and doing all these things, and it's just kind of like camping for a long time. But anyway, I digress with that. But they are in town, and obviously aware of what I do here, because I do share some of this on my social media, the personal social media, and there's always a lot of questions, and we talk about things, and then when you start getting into carnivore, and they were like, well, we don't even cook meat at the house anymore. We'll eat meat at restaurants if we go out, but we won't cook it in the house. And I mean, and everybody's going to find what works best for them. Hopefully, what how makes them feel optimal. I hope. So you mean I don't argue with people, but it's not my business necessarily. But we do get into get a discussion. They asked me what I thought about the new injectables, if you know what I mean, and I gave my opinions and kind of the downsides and the all those things, and just talking about meat and all these things. And he was even brought up Charlie, that because I mean that was fresh in my mind from yesterday morning, and how he's done an experiment with himself, and you'll watch and see he went from like 1,800 calories into like 3, 4, 5,000 calories and up in certain instances, and was losing weight with eating that much meat. And I think that's just one of those things that people will hear you say, but don't necessarily believe. And that's why, like, do they think we're crazy? And I imagine a lot of people do. And I did pose a question yesterday to Charlie, not expecting him to have an answer because I don't have an answer. I don't think anybody has an answer because I think there's so many moving parts. There's so many moving parts. So even once we have significant data, significant, and I have to think of the right word here. I have to think of the word significant and meaningful data on our lifestyles that we live, whether it's in whatever the spectrum is, whether it is from dirty keto all the way to lion diet and everything in between. Once we have significant data that a human being can thrive, enough information that the masses have to take notice, how do we package that? How do we tie it up in a pretty little bow and present it to them? And not only present it to them, but then how do we handle the presumable crash that would come with that? Because there's a lot of logistical things that are happening with our food supply, with our pharmaceuticals, with everything that goes in and involved with our medical networks, everything. There's a lot of bloat. Think about if we stopped needing or eating or desiring all the things in the middle of a grocery store, that opens up a lot of space for the grocery store. Now, that may not impact the grocery store. They could always up whatever else they're selling. They can they can remove shelving, sell more clothes, whatever it is that they're going to do. But the food manufacturing, that will grind to a halt. And it would just be it could be catastrophic. So we have to think about we're fixing our health, but what are we going to do to the economy in the long run? I mean, you can't necessarily overlook your health because of that, but it is definitely something to consider when we're looking at this. And hopefully, people much smarter than me maybe are already looking at that, looking at models of that. I don't know. I think that a lot of I think what we're really looking at here is these companies looking at how can we get more out of these products that we're selling already. So let's see. Diane Bailey is here. Good morning, Diane. John says I just put an egg loaf in the or put a loaf of egg white bread in the oven. Fantastic. Matt Franklin is here. Are you at the beach club today, sir? Let's see. Yeah. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this type of thing where how do we or how can we articulate in a way to our friends, our family, people that we don't necessarily see all the time, but when they're inquisitive, when they ask questions, how do we yeah. So how do we articulate to that? How do we come off and not sound crazy? I don't know if there's a way. Adam Schmitz is here. Good morning, Adam. How are you? So what is? I mean, I don't even know if you can tell me, but what is up with the glass? What the security kiosk at the Galactic Star Cruiser? So are they just going to revamp that? I don't. Like I said, I don't even know if you can tell me anything. But obviously, you're working there. There's something going on there because there's a lot. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if they've announced anything. You know what I mean. I'm just curious. I wanted to stay there, but the idea of spending like 5 grand on 2 nights and basically not being able to do anything else but be there. And I know you get to go into Galaxy's Edge in a back door, and there's some perks like that, but it's just such a high cost. I don't know. And I mean, and I've watched a lot of content because that's something that I am interested in. Where they were like, if they would have maybe themed it towards like the original trilogy and had those characters and all that, I think they lean too hard into some stuff that people don't really know what's going on and like the newer stuff. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I don't even know if you can talk about that or not, or even if you know. Right now, there's nothing going on there. Yeah, I mean, I know it's vacant. I know since like October of last year, because I know we were there in October, but I think it had closed down before we got there. It had their last voyage, right? But I was just curious because I mean, it would be kind of neat if they could turn it into something like you could go and see. I know because it's right there. It's not far from Galaxy's Edge, you know. Yeah, I know almost everything is speculation because Disney hasn't come out and said anything yet. But yeah, yeah, and I don't want to necessarily. I mean, I know today is Revenge of the Fifth or whatever you want to look at, or Cinco de Mayo or the May the Fifth, if you're whatever. And I understand that. I I enjoyed Star Wars, and I think that it's gotten to the point where it's just not I would say oversaturated, but it just was more than I could keep up with because there was cartoons and TV shows and all these things. I don't even know what's going on. And then I did watch the one about the prison. That one was interesting because our middle kid, came over and watched it with us like an episode or two at a time. So that was fascinating. But outside of that, I don't have a lot of time to sit and devote to that expansive of a TV verse or whatever. And but anyway, but I did start watching Yellowstone, which is like Sopranos on horses. Uh, I haven't. I haven't. I don't know. Um, I don't know enough. I don't dig that deep into it, so I don't know, to be honest with you. Yeah. I mean, maybe I can reach out to some friends of mine that are maybe have been discussing that. And see what they have to say about it. I have no idea. I focus so much. I do focus on pop culture and I do focus on movies and TV, but my primary focus is this. And I got to hold on my. I just got out of the shower before I started this, and now like I feel like everything is drippy, even though I dry off and I brush my beard and look fabulous. But here we are. So I don't know. I don't know enough really about it. I'm worried about the possible economical impact of thousands of people moving to healthy eating. They measure trends and drop unprofitable products daily. Big food adapts, yes, but can big food adapt that much? And I understand, even if we see meaningful change, even if we can see a 10 to 20% change in the overarching culture of the United States alone to a low carb, higher meat consumption basis, how does that impact cost of meat? How does that impact cost of groceries? How does that impact eggs supply? How does that impact a lot of these things? Because they already are trying to make it so we're not eating meat or whatever. And there was a line in I keep wanting to call it Tombstone. There was a line in Yellowstone, and he was like, "You raise cattle, you can't get onto me about being whatever friendly or whatever." And it's like, or ecologically friendly or whatever. He raises cattle. He didn't retort like, "Really? Are you serious?" That's you know what I mean. Like the assumption that cattle ranching and all that stuff is bad for the environment when literally there have been millions more cows than there are now. I guess. I mean, I'm no expert. Maybe one day I'll be able to get the sod father on and see if he can explain that a little deeper. But yeah, I think healthier people are more productive and thus help the economy. And I imagine that's going to be the case. I mean, the more people can get outside, the more people who are active, then there'll be more gyms and more activities outdoors, more rentals for bikes and things. There'll be the economy will adapt, but at the same time, it's such a huge fundamental change in the status quo. It's gonna and you got to look at like the United States. Yeah, we can change and we can adapt, but we're like a gigantic cruise ship. We can't just go whoop. It's like you got to go around real slow. It's like Big Auto trying to compete with Tesla. They can't because they haven't put the work in for decades and they're such giant corporations with stakeholders and things, and they have to maintain a certain level of profit. And if they start dipping that profit, they have to back off what they're doing. So they don't have as much room to move forward. So the same thing would be with like a company like Nabisco, companies like that who basically only make carb foods, these gigantic carb food companies. How do they, I mean, we'll obviously lose some of those. And then, I mean, there's an impact in jobs. And I know that there's always a shift. There's always paradigm shifts in jobs. We're worried about the impending AI thing. But you go back 100, 200, 300 years, and they were worried about the printing press. They were worried about, the cotton gin. They were worried about the tractor. They were worried about all these things. They were worried about the semi trucks, trains. They were worried about all these things. How's that going to impact? How that's going to take away so many jobs. But we as humans, we do find a way to adapt. But how quickly can we adapt and how difficult will it be during the transition? These are the questions that I have as well. I think we already basically, I think the worldwide we go through like 40 billion chickens a year. That's a lot of chickens. Good morning. All late because I was on a chat with Sam's customer service due to bad experience in the store. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I love pork loin. It's inexpensive and delicious. If cooked, we loved it. We love pork loin, but as of the last couple of years, like it just doesn't sit with us very well. Like pork would just gives us heartburn. No matter how, I mean, bacon even a little bit, but I mean, we stomach the bacon. We don't eat as much as we used to. Primarily beef and chicken is all we eat now, like because we do get such an issue. We do have an issue with pork. So pork being cheap, unfortunately, it doesn't sit well with us. So we don't eat it as much. We would probably save a lot more money, but I guess it is overall better because I would say that beef is more nutrient dense than pork, but pork is still a good option if you can stomach it. Unfortunately, we can't. pork loin in the slow cooker. I miss like we tie it up real tight, tie it up with pork, then season it real well, cover it with onions, and that stuff was delicious. Oh, I miss that stuff. When they get rid of all that crap at the grocery store, they can make more room for rotisserie chickens. Yes. Now, so I'm guessing Costco is getting rid of the plastic chicken containers, like the heart, like the clamshell things they clap on top. It's going to be like, I guess they're putting them in bags now. I haven't seen that at ours yet. I imagine they're probably running through all the stock they have of the clammy shell things. So we'll have to see that. I mean, those are probably the best rotisserie chickens I've ever had. I know that they're not perfect. I think there's like a teaspoon of salt or a teaspoon of sugar in the whole chicken. Boo. I'm not worried about a teaspoon of sugar in an entire chicken. I'm just not. I mean, because if you can eat the whole chicken, that's 5 total carbs or whatever. Even if the whole chicken is 10 total carbs. So what? Now, if those bother you in ways that cause inflammation and sore joints, I understand. But if they don't, it's $5. You can't get a chicken cheaper and cook it yourself for $5. Even if you have a chicken, you're paying more than $5 for the chicken because then you have to raise it, feed it, and all that stuff. Chicken. Big Bob is in the house. Good morning. In regards to heartburn, look into taking retained HCl. My wife has been taking her heartburn has gotten a lot better. Well, like the thing is we don't have heartburn otherwise. I had chronic heartburn for 20 years. I was on everything from Prevacid, like when it was a prescription drug, to Prilosec, anything and everything in between, and nothing would really totally solve it until I got to the Prilosec. Prilosec OTC kept it under control, but it was if I forgot my morning pill, I was done. So I would keep a bottle at work, bottle in the car, bottle at anywhere and everywhere I was going to be, anywhere I had my own space, I would keep a bottle of that stuff. And over the last 8 years, we don't do that anymore. We don't have that. So when something does cause us heartburn, it does give us pause, right? So I mean, that means this should show we shouldn't be eating that food. There's something inherently there's an issue. And now we've talked about maybe trying heritage pork or something like get an actual like an actual like farmed fresh from somewhere, or maybe wild boar, having one of those processed is some things that we could try, or try like going to a butcher or a farmer and saying, hey, we have issues with regular pork, can we buy a couple of pounds of wild boar from you, see how it comes out, maybe get a wild boar loin or something like that, tie it up with some onions, whatever, see does that impact us. So I mean, yeah, they do it at our Walmarts and our like any other place. Like Meyer has rotisserie chickens, Walmart has rotisserie chickens, um, Kroger, I think, but they're all teeny tiny and they want $8 or $9 for them. Where the Costco ones are the big granddaddy chickens and they're huge and they're only $5. But they have always put them in those plastic clamshells. But I think they are moving. I think I saw an article that they're moving to a bag as well. Let's see. Betaine HC is that yeah, I have issues with that all the time. I can never do anything. Let's see. Went to Rockstar. Yeah, I want to go to Rockstar. I haven't been there in a while. I want to go. Trying to talk Joe and Rachel. Hopefully they'll get them out there one of these days. Additives in modern pork causing trouble. I mean, I don't know. It just be maybe way they're raised. I don't know. I mean, it could be just something an enzyme in the pork itself. I don't know. Wild boar has more parasites. I mean, I get that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Danny Beach. Good morning, sir. You are not late, sir. Trust me. You are right on time. You flatter me, John, but I am in by no shape or form any kind of rock star. I'm just a guy who is weird enough to come on and talk with you guys every day or every Sunday and Saturday and Tuesday. And yeah, but thank you. Oh, yeah. So, uh, coffee is the best. But yeah, these are just things that I wonder about. I wonder how like things like that are going to impact over time. How can the economy adapt? And I know the economy will adapt. Where they can make money, they will make money. And it would be nice to see if we're going to have government subsidies. It would be nice to see maybe them subsidize beef, chickens instead of corn, wheat, soy. I think that would be, I think that would be beneficial. Maybe get the cost of beef down, and we can all get healthy. I don't know. It's just such. It just seems like such a an impossible task to do what we're doing, and we're doing it in such a small scale that I know that an avalanche starts with a single pebble or whatever the whole thing is. But yeah, party like a rock star. I love Rockstar energy drinks. The zero sugar, the original flavor. And I've talked about this before here, but they changed when Pepsi bought the company. They changed the formula and what the original two, like the black and the white cans, the original ones in the stores are different. They don't taste the same. They have a more fruity flavor. I'm not a fan of them, but you can buy what they call the OG throwback edition on Amazon, and I have a 12 pack delivered every 6 months to the house. So I just got to drink them sparingly. So I guess it's good because I can't get them in stores, but I'm starting to do zone two training. I love it. Have you heard of it? Basically, you elevate your heart rate a little bit with an aerobic exercise and sustain it for a long time. Yeah, that's just, I guess it's like you want to find like your optimal heart rate and then just kind of elevate it to that and keep monitoring it and just kind of keep going and keep your heart rate. Yeah, I've done that before, like on like elliptical machines and stuff. Just find an optimal heart rate and then keep it going for like 45 minutes or a half an hour, depending on how long I've been doing it. But yeah, in the immortal words of Dr. Barry, we're all just dudes and chicks. Yeah, I mean, we are. We really, really are just people talking to other people, trying to help other people. That's I hope that's not what I remembered by. That was terrible. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I mean, that's what why I do what I do is because it's not easy to get this word out. And some people just don't understand. Um, let's see here. If you can see this right here, where my finger is right here, my buddy Danny painted that for me. It's actually a painting. It's super awesome. It's a one of one, hand painted by my buddy Danny. I will do what I can to put his information in the description below. If you're interested in taking a look at he has a YouTube channel where he does like time lapse painting and stuff like that. I think he has a short where he paints this, and you can see that. Um, he enjoys doing paintings. So, let's see. Matt says, I tried an energy drink once and it made my heart race, gave me the jitters, never again. My only energy drink now is coffee. I remember when they first started coming out, like really before Red Bull made an entrance here. Before I would see Red Bull in at the gas stations, we would go see local bands play on Saturday nights, and friends would come and pick me up, and we'd stop at the gas station, and I would get an energy drink, but it was just like a small can like Red Bull, and it just said energy on the side. And so I would buy one of those. And then there was like this ginseng stuff, and it was disgusting. Who knows what was in it? I had no idea. I was dumb, right? Ginseng from the gas station in a little vial. What is wrong with me? But I did it, and I was like 19, 20 years old. What do I know? And then all of a sudden, there was like they were everywhere. Like there was Rockstar and Monsters and Red Bull, and yeah. Let's see. You decided to stop energy drinks again. I try not to have them every day. I try not to have. I only buy so many. Yeah. Yeah, I like they finally put out like the original flavor monster as a sugar free, and I've been drinking those some. I shouldn't, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we've been friends for a long time as well. We were in a band together years and years ago, like in 1999, 2000. Yeah, we've been friends a long time. I like to measure grocery store food prices by the pound. For example, a pound of 73.27 or 80.20 ground beef typically costs less than a pound of Doritos or lettuce. It is true. It is very true. And and I do the same thing. Like I when we can get our budget, like if we could just go to the grocery store and just buy what we're going to eat, it's a lot easier. But it's almost always something extra. I buy like these little keto bun things for the granddaughter because I make her these egg and cheese sandwiches every morning. And, doing what we can do to get her to put food in her belly because she would rather do anything than eat, which is completely opposite for me. I've never been an anything other than eat person before. So, good morning, Sharon. Let's see. I was in night shift all throughout schooling in the Navy. Used to drink Joke Cola all the time and pop no dos to stay awake. Kind of ruined me for energy drinks. So before we were old enough to drink, the same friends that I saw yesterday at the wedding reception. So we all would hang out, and we weren't old enough to drink. So we would go to the gas station or whatever near their house, and we would buy like a case of the 16-ounce Joke Colas, and we would drink those full sugar, full caffeine Joke Colas and drink those. And then all of a sudden, everybody would be doing all kinds of stuff. Basically, like when we drank enough one night, they made a mic stand out of Joke Cola bottles. Yeah, weird. We did some weird stuff. DNA Junkie is here. Thank you for being here. Coming in the middle of this, I hate coffee, so drink tea, regular sodas, diet soda now. But for a while, a company called X Mode Shots has a wine box of energy shots with reusable bottles. Easy. Oh yeah, I had that problem when I was doing like right at the beginning, like right in the middle times. We had the before times, the middle times, and where we are now. And like doing all the remote work that I was doing, I would make cold brew coffee, and I would go and fill that up. I wouldn't even use because it was keeping in the fridge, so I wouldn't put ice in it. But I was drinking two of these of cold brew a day and an energy drink. I was like, I honestly don't know how much caffeine was in that cold brew because cold brew automatically has more caffeine than regular coffee because it's basically like just steeping much longer. And I would basically because I had the cold brew bag and I would steep it and just let it sit there the whole time. And yeah, it was bad. I actually started like some heart palpitations from that and stuff. I don't recommend drinking that much caffeine, so I have cut back. But it swells, it ebbs and flows with me. Getting my kids to eat is a chore. Yeah, I mean, they're kids. I don't know. I don't know if I ever had the problem. I've always been a person that wanted to eat. I don't know. I had a rain energy drink last week. Later in the day, it kept me up most of the night. I became more sensitive to caffeine as I get older. I have a cutoff, so I don't have energy drinks past a certain point or coffee or anything because then I'll stay awake all night. Yeah. No, you're fine, dear. Uh, Two Queens Go Keto are here. Good morning. Good morning, Robin. How is Callie? How is everybody? I hope you guys are all doing good. I try to keep track of everybody on the Facebooks and all that stuff and all the groups, but I fail. It's so much. But I do think about everybody. Cold brew has more carbs. I don't even know. Should I even worry about the carbs in coffee or cold brew? I mean, I'd be curious even if it even has an impact on like insulin levels or sugar. I mean, I'd be curious to see like, does it really, I mean, how do different carbs impact you? Like, I know rice and bread and all that stuff is going to be something that bothers you, sugars and all that stuff, but like carbs and broccoli, carbs and like coffee, does that truly impact you? Is it like, I don't know. I'd be curious to see. Hopefully, when these new glucose, the continuous glucose monitors do show up at like the grocery store or wherever, and you can buy them over the counter, that what then you can hopefully put those on and calibrate them, and then kind of get an idea of how things truly impact you. So yeah, let's see. I'm one of those people who could drink coffee at 9 p.m. and still get a full night's sleep. I used to be that way. Oh, I used to be that way. Sherry Lynn is here. How does cold brew have more carbs? It's just steeps longer, and more of the bean kind of gets into the mixture. Um, Michelle from Twitter says, ages ago, drank Pepsi, something do for breakfast. Been sticking random fit aids now. New sparkling element. I haven't had a chance to try the new sparkling element yet. They didn't send it to influencers or people like myself. They were sending them to people who like buy or have a subscription. I don't have a subscription to Element, um, because it's expensive and I can't afford it. But yeah, I mean, if you have a like, I was in a chat the other day, and Chris Bear from Keto Chow, also Salty, which is a competitor of Element, he was doing a price comparison. Like if you buy four, if you do the subscription between Element and Salty, Salty is like 1 penny or two, like I think maybe 1 penny more expensive per serving, but you have to do the subscription. And with a subscription of Element, it's like 4 boxes to get that price. So yeah, and I just don't have that. But I would love to get that, but I'm not on their radar. So I have to wait till I can get some of my own or buy it or whatever I've got to do. Where am I at here? Do you get your blood work done regularly? I'm trying to get my numbers done I should, but I don't have a primary care physician at the moment. I need to look into that and start going and getting my blood work done at least once a year, even if it is like going to one of the places where you can get your blood work done and send it off and have them evaluate it for you. Um, I want to get a BioCoach A1C meter. I think it's like 80 to $100. And you get to check your A1C 4 times. So you can do that, just you quarterly, or you and a spouse can buy that and do it twice a year. And then you can just buy the refills, and it's not quite as expensive, obviously, because you've got the meter. The meter has a cost. And I think that's a definite, and you can buy that with like your HSA card. Um, I believe I still have a discount or an affiliate with a discount. I'll look and see if that's still there, and I will put that in the link below. I think I meant to do that last week and forgot, so my apologies to that. So I'll try to do that if anybody's interested in anything BioCoach related. I don't talk about that a lot, because I mean I have a BioCoach ketone meter here. It's inside this little package that I have, but I don't utilize it all that much just with fasting. But I think it's a good tool to have in your toolbox to check, to take a look at stuff. But I don't. I I did get my blood work done when I was working in an office. They would give you HSA money for getting physicals and blood work and doing all that stuff. But now that I'm like kind of self-employed, if you will, I'm on the wife's insurance. But yeah, I just haven't. I need to. She and I need to talk about that and sit down and like really look and so get our blood work done and start really looking at it and seeing what we need to do, because I mean it's just the smart thing to do because we have the ability to do it. So yeah. Cali is good. Busy times around here. Can't wait till the 18th. Yes. The 18th. I'm super excited. I hope all of you that are able to go reached out to Jackie. There was a deadline yesterday, but I imagine if you reach out today, there probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. Jackie's Keto Journey at gmail.com. Reach out to her. Make sure you get your email into her if you do plan on showing up to our event. Sherry got her element yesterday. She thinks that, so she says element is too sweet for her. I would just add more water. So instead of doing like 16 ounces, do 30 or 40 ounces, or split it. Like you can even like cut it in half and then put it into two things of water or whatever. Yeah. 1.5 cents. Kind of splitting hairs there, Matt. 1.5 cents per serving isn't going to be the deciding factor on whether I buy something. For me, then it's going to be taste, it's going to be ingredients, it's going to be um, how much electrolytes are in them, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, if I have coffee after 2, it'll affect my sleep. Yeah. I don't have a subscription, but I do buy through Amazon because I use an HSA card. Oh, you can buy Element with HSA? Interesting. Yeah, I don't have any money in my HSA anymore because, yeah. Good morning, Cindy. Thank you for being here, dear. And Michelle over on Twitter says, yes, I'm going to call it Twitter. It's X. It sounds better. Twitter. Everybody knows what Twitter is. Um, Alta Labs. You can, yeah. And there's, Own My Labs, which is, I think, the one that, I can't think of his name right now, but I know there's Own Your Labs as well. Semi-retired Bob is in the house. I was just thinking about you yesterday. I hope you're doing well, sir. I haven't been a chance to jump on any of your lives or anything recently, and I just seems like things get kind of overwhelming, and I don't get to pop in people's lives as much as I want to and say hello and all that stuff. Surgery on Tuesday may keep me away from the meetup on the 18th. Well, I hope that everything goes smoothly and without any kind of complications. And I hope you feel better because that's more important than coming to our meetup. So we will be thinking about you, Bob. We truly appreciate you. Let's see. Charlie says, in my limited experience, the home A1C tests are significantly off from lab versions. For instance, home A1C said mine was 4.7, but labs was 5.8. Hmm. I'd be curious to see. Yeah. I would almost want to know, like, if you had your A1C taken, like, we talked about this a little bit yesterday on the live we did. Like, you can have things pulled, like your fasting insulin pulled, and you can maybe have it pulled like 4 times while you're fasting, and it would be different. I wonder how accurate an A1C is truly. I know it's a snapshot, it's supposed to be a 3-month snapshot, but I'm really curious to know exactly how truly accurate it really is. These things I'm always just wondering is like we take them at face value. We've always heard, you go and you get your blood. Like when I would do blood work for jobs and stuff for, do the HSA stuff or a physical at work or whatever, they would always take blood and they would always do it like right around the time, like 9 o'clock in the morning. And that snapshot, if it was 100, then the whole year you had elevated blood sugar. Even because their cutoff was 99. And like if you have a blood sugar at 100, even if you're fasted, I'd be like, I haven't eaten, like I had a blood sugar of like I think 101 one time I got it pulled. And I was like, I haven't eaten in like 6 days. I'd been fasting for that long. And still like my blood sugar was high at that point, whether it's the Dom phenomenon or just, getting up and moving around and being in a busy environment such as because they would set up in like our break room or whatever, our lunch room, and then there'd be like curtains and people talking and people you don't normally interact with and all kinds of things going on. And then they're poking your finger and they're doing your blood, they're pulling your cuffs, they're doing all those things. And that has to have some level of stress. And with stress comes elevated blood sugar and all that stuff. So you got to like, but they never take that into account because how could they, I guess? I don't know. There's just all the things that I question. Yeah. I wonder how much of a factor that truly is. Let's see. Jen Lucas is in the house. Good morning, dear. I was thinking about ordering my own blood work for melatonin and cortisol. That'd be interesting. Cindy says, listening at 2x speed to get caught up from the start. Wait till you get to that part. That'll sound really weird if you're still listening at 2x speed. Okay, bread is done and smells delicious. Oh, I bet it's good. Chris Bear stated it's 1.5 cents more expensive than salty over element. Yeah. I know. That's what he told me. I was like, it was either 1 point. I knew it was like 1.5 cents or 1 cent or something like that. It's just one of those things. I knew that. I knew, but if you just go in and buy one, like, but if you're buying it bag for bag, like if you're buying just a 30 count salty versus a 30 count of element, salty is going to be cheaper all day long. It's like 33 bucks for a 30 count of salty or $45 for a box of element. So if you're just buying it one for one or 30 for 30, salty is going to be the cheapest way. And if you use my link down below, you can get 10% off. you know. So then it makes it 30 bucks. So yeah. And I mean, and it's a lot easier to afford 30 bucks than it is. Like I think I don't know what it is, like what is it, $115 or something crazy? Like whatever 45 times three is, and then you get the fourth box free. So yeah. Let's see. Might be looking at a new primary doctor after I get my labs done in July. He's pushing the statin pretty hard. Let's see. He's been my doctor for over 20 years. I'd be like, look, I don't want a statin. I mean, obviously, that's your decision to make. I'm not giving you any medical advice here. I am not a doctor or healthcare professional, anything like that. So I'm just having a conversation here, not giving you any medical advice. But if that's what you want, that's what I would tell him. Because that's your right to tell your doctor what you do or don't want. And like there's a very limited window of people who statins actually make sense for. And it's not the general population like they try to think. And you would think, okay, they've got some like statins are one of the most profitable drugs on the market today, above, the little blue pills, which you would think would be the most profitable. But no, statins. And you would think that they would have to go back and think, okay, but they don't want to. But you would think that why is a majority of the population on a statin? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Why would the majority of the people be on a statin? That's not normal. That's not natural. It just doesn't compute. Geeky fact from Jennifer Lucas in China. Let's see. In families in China will move their entire extended family 100 miles for 5 cents. Yeah, but I mean, what's that 5 cents equate to? It might be 5 cents, but I mean, does that mean a completely different way of life? That's like looking at 5 cents in 1895 versus 5 cents now. Yeah, a penny more an hour. How far does that penny go? I mean, truly, truly. Hungry Heath is in the house. Good morning, sir. Let's see. They sent Evelyn a box of sparkling element. Very sweet, very fizzy, good flavor, but the carbonation makes it not so refreshing for hydration. I think I'll stick to the drop-in powders. I like fizzy beverages because sometimes you just want to burp. I know that sounds weird, but like sometimes just throwing back like a can of diet soda or like usually a clear soda, but something like that just helps you burp and it just sometimes makes you feel better. I don't know. I'm weird. I mean, you know that. You're watching me talk to you. I heard Dr. Sivas talk about the continuous ketone monitor recently. Would be neat if in the future there was a continuous insulin monitor. I was thinking that when we were talking yesterday, and I imagine eventually they're going to have to probably like combine all of these things, right? So because you don't want to just walk around with like looking like a polka dot, right? You have like this puck, that puck, another puck, because then you could have like then there'll be like a continuous cholesterol monitor because they will want to. Um, like ketone, glucose, insulin, all these biomarkers. They'll have to figure a way to probably put it into one puck. I hope. And I imagine somebody's working on it. It's just dealing with that kind of stuff and kind of getting to know and talk with um, Logan over Goody Beats and his work with BioCoach because he's part owner in BioCoach now, and some of the stuff that they're trying to come to market with, and how long it truly takes to get something off the ground and through FDA approval and all that stuff is just daunting, and it takes a lot of capital. So I imagine these things are in development. When they'll see the light of day, that's a whole other question. Let's see here. Let's see. Matt was thanking Carl for the info. Was wondering about the sparkling element. Good to know that the carbonation makes it less refreshing. I guess it's just a matter of do you find because I don't find like Lacroix and stuff like that refreshing, which I think is strange. So I would imagine that like be less refreshing because I had some electrolyte beverages today. So um, Hungry Heath, we are talking about Element and buying it from Amazon. If you buy it from Amazon, I think you could order it with an HSA card. I wonder if you could order like salty or whatever keto chow with a HSA card. I wonder. Now, fun fact: Chandra did some financial planning, and she sat with a financial planner, and they said if once you hit retirement age, your HSA is then free money. So if you are putting there's obviously a limit every year how much you can put into your HSA. If you are in a position to max it out every year over the course of umpteen years, with compound interest, that should be quite a sum of money. Um, and then when you retire, now this is what the financial planner says. I have not looked to verify this. So again, not financial advice. I'm not here to give advice. I'm here to just talk. That allegedly then it's free money. Allegedly it's free money. So yeah. Let me see here. Planning on being there on the 18th. Send an email that I'm not computer savvy for the prepayment. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So as long as Jackie's working with you on that, um, I'm going to attempt Chris cooking Nashville's carnivore bread this morning. Good luck. Does anyone know or anyone with a CGM know if you have to buy a monitoring service? I don't know. I know that there's different monitoring services. I imagine there's probably something out there. I don't know. If you have to and that's expensive, then that just kind of defeats the purpose. And then Sherry was saying that she orders her element through Amazon with her HSA card. One day I'll have the courage to try one of Chris's recipes. My wife had a GCM for quite a while and she only used it with an app on her phone and never had to pay for a monitoring service. Okay. That's what I was wondering. Just, I mean, because I know there's like level software and all that stuff. I have never had one, Jennifer, but the one Brian has with his pump, the monitoring service comes with it. Okay. I have made several of his mashed potatoes and pizza crust along with the Alfredo sauce, his butter mayo, and more. He's typically here. He's been coming in on Sunday, so he may be busy today. Let's see. The doc said if my cholesterol continued to rise after some time on weight loss maintenance, he might order a CT angiogram. This seems in line with Dr. Westman's idea of proving you have heart disease. So then, I mean, if it comes back clean, like comes back fine, then they're going to leave it alone. Or, I mean, it's like getting it, like if you go and you get a calcium score of 0, you know, so Sarah made the pizza crust and it was amazing. It was perfect for filling that pizza craving. I had to look that up and see what he makes it with. Let's see. Let's see. Carl says we have but both element and salty for our family. Our daughters can't stand element, but can drink salty and great health benefits from electrolytes. Oh yeah, 100%. Michelle over on Twitter says, walked away from the physician who pushed the statin. It was hard to find one after that, but I did. Yeah, I mean, it just seems hard to find physicians now anyway because they take on so many and it's just so hard. So I don't even know. Like if it's probably going to be a pain in the butt. who will take our insurance or whatever, be in network and all that stuff. Yeah, Bob, let us know. Reach out to us. Let us know how everything's going. My kids at school with CGMs have apps on their phones with notifications set if it goes too high or too low. The notifications are sent to them, the nurse, and their parents and caregivers. Yeah, our schools had that. Like our schools even had an app that we would look into when the kids were in school, so we could like monitor their grades, and we'd get like messages through that stuff. It was kind of interesting. So they must have got some kind of certification. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Certification, if I can talk today, to be able to be used by an HSA and not get, because I always use like my HSA at like the dentist office or buy like CPAP supplies and all that stuff. I'll be covered in continuous monitors like some people cover themselves in stickers or tattoos. I imagine that's going to be a way. I mean, the whole biohacking and stuff. That's going to be a thing, and then eventually, probably it'll just be like a sticker. I do 1.75 speed on almost everything just to get more in. It's so difficult because I can't handle like when there's laughing or like if its voice is too high. It's just so hard to take it seriously, and then my brain just can't process it. You are a continuous BS monitor, Jennifer. Yeah, it just seems like I see his recipes and I'm glad he's doing that. Oh, but man, they just seem so in depth. I'm like, I don't have time for that. We have a soda stream and make fizzy drinks. Use the 2KK hack to connect the soda stream to a 5-pound CO2 tank. Lasts longer and costs less per bottle for fizzy drinks. I've been thinking about that, but like, I don't want to add something in that just going to mean that I do have to, because it's easier just to not buy soda. Uh, I guess, or not. I still have a new Sprite that I need to try. Sparkling element was refreshing when it was very cold. Less cold, not so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Just listen to the book, The Great Cholesterol Myth. It talked a lot about statins. Very good book. Yeah, I mean, statins are a weird drug anyway, but they're so profitable. It's some wonder they push them so hard. Some CGMs work with phone apps. Some don't require you to get a separate monitoring device. Dexcom G6, in my experience. Okay. Drank my first Element can last night. Grapefruit was good, and I don't care for grapefruit. Yeah, I liked grapefruit like the Lacroix, like the generic grapefruit ones, like the bubbly. I think maybe I got bubbly one. It's not generic, but there's others like the Walmart ones or the Kroger ones. I imagine he is working on that. To be honest with you, I mean, if he's not, he's dropping the ball. But I imagine he probably is, and it's just one of those things that'll take a while. Even like PDF form or whatever, and throw it up on Amazon. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement here. Good morning, Christy. Meeting Wellness is here. I have never really noticed CGMs until I started doing keto and then see them everywhere now. Yeah. Flat River Keto is here. Good morning. First time catching one of these. Well, I'm glad you're here. I do appreciate you. And John Guggenhan is asking, does anybody know if the new Element sparkling waters will be available in stores? I don't know much about them at all. I know I just saw that Neely had some, which makes sense because um she buys them. So it's just one of those things. I just haven't even seen, like, the only thing I know about is what I've heard from you guys today and seeing pictures you guys have posted, because again, they didn't send them to influencers as far as I understand. Which is kind of a strange, I mean, it makes sense. It makes better sense to send them for free to people who are actually purchasing the product than it does to send them to someone like me, who I have purchased Element in the past, but I'm not like, I mean, use so many different ones that I'm not really like beholden to any one brand. I mean, I'm still an affiliate with Salty, but I'm still not beholden to Salty. Like, I'm there to provide a discount and I like them. But I do utilize multiple ones. I like Perfect Keto because there's different flavors. Not every brand has all the flavors you want, and like Perfect Keto's Black Cherry is like the best. We're gonna be able to get it ever again. So I'm like afraid to drink it. Let's see. I love watching lives during the week. It really helps with a sense of community connection. I do. I just kind of find I go and look at one and I'm like, oh, there's like four going on right now. And I'm like, overwhelmed. So like this week I've watched like 6 or 7 episodes of Yellowstone. So I've kind of like put the keto stuff and all this community stuff behind for a little bit because I'm like, I need a break. Let's see. Christy got some Element sparkling waters. Where's mine? I didn't get any. Oh, let's see. I also got the Element cans. Had one the other day, having horrible leg cramps while watching TV. Didn't taste as salty to me as using the powders. They're saying they're available to order tomorrow. It doesn't say anything about in stores on the website at the moment. They're actually very little info. Yeah, that's just the weird thing. Like, um, yeah, maybe one day we'll do lives on Sarah's channel. Just do it. Okay, so like I started doing like so was like I need to do lives, and I think I started doing these Sunday morning lives before we even started doing Tuesday lives. And I was like, I will go live at 7:30 in the morning on Sundays. I didn't anticipate anybody actually showing up, right? And I was like, I'm just gonna go on here. It's gonna be a failure. No one's gonna show up. I'll do it once and I'll never do it again. And here we are, like months and months and months into this. So it just becomes something that I look forward to. Others look forward to. People show up. Everybody truly enjoys it. And it does grow the community. It grows a sense of community. It brings us closer together. We get to know each other. It's just one of those things. Like I never thought that Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. people would be waiting to watch me talk or in her hang out with me. You know, but do it. It's just you just do it. That's all you got to do. Pick a time, pick a date. Unfortunately, now there's probably not a lot of times available where you're not going to be going live as somebody else. I mean, when I was looking at times to go live, I was like, you know what? No one's going this time of day, but there's somebody going. I think there is somebody live right now. I think um, Dr. Chafee goes live at some point in time, either during or right after I do this, and I knew not to go live Monday nights because that's when Dr. Barry goes live, and I'm not now. While I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, I tried to find times where there was at least when we started doing it, there wasn't anybody going live, but now it's almost impossible to not be live as time as somebody else. I mean, it's just not it's just impossible these days. Like you just can't. There's just so many people going live. So I mean, but when we chose Tuesday, nobody was going live, and I think we go live now the same time as Chris Cook in Nashville. So I mean, I feel bad about that, but I mean, it's just impossible to not have it. Let's see. So I guess it is Tuesday, not tomorrow. The Element was brilliant promotion, cost them a lot less than paying for advertising. Yeah, I mean, because I know an idea of what they pay for advertising, and I could probably write it all off on taxes. I am willing to do just about anything for it. We'll have to broker a deal. Speaking of lives, I am going live today at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time, for my MS Journey update week 175. So everybody be sure to join in at Heath's Live. Um, I will try to watch. I know I've got a lot of things to do today. My brother's coming over. He wants me to cut his hair. I got to go to the exchange a battery for my son-in-law. Yeah. So I don't know. If I'm home, I'm gonna do my best to watch it. Everybody needs something these days. And we're having family dinner night, so I got to figure out what I'm cooking for family dinner tonight. Maybe I'll make them do it again. I'll just do dishes and have them cook. I'll go buy whatever it is they want and they can cook. Let's see. I have tried the hearts of palm. They are okay. I prefer healthy noodles from Costco. Healthy noodles from Costco, I think they may be kind of gassy. The influencers I saw with the new element must be subscribed. Yeah, I think like Neely got some, but they didn't like, I mean, you figure that they would have reached out to whoever they've worked with before and they would have sent it. But I mean, typically, so here's the thing. Typically, when a company like Element does a launch of a product, whether it's like, say, any company, like they'll reach out to you, they'll say, hey, we're launching a new product. Do you want to be involved? You say yes, they will send it to you. There's depending on the level of the company and who you are and whatever, there may or may not be a contract involved if they're paying you to do a review, or if or if you're just an affiliate with the company, they know to say, hey, we'll send it to you. Then in the packet that they send, there's like a letter that says, hey, don't talk about this or show anything until XYZ. um Sometimes they'll say, like sometimes they'll like, it's going to be a secret, you can post about it but don't show what it is yet, and then once on this date hits, then you can release it. I mean, there's like an embargo date, really. So will the date that the embargo lifts. So you'll have a product sometimes for a month before you're allowed to tell anybody about it or release any content. And that gives creators time to make the content, edit it, get it up, try it out, do whatever. Sometimes sometimes companies will release a product and mess up their own date and go live before you have a chance to make a video. That happens too. So, so that's why it was weird with Element is typically when you started seeing the posts on Instagram from the people who were getting it, usually there's like 10 videos pop up on your screen on YouTube right away from, Two Crazy Ketos and all, the people who do this kind of stuff, myself included, whether, with Keto Chow or whatever. Typically they'll set their release time for the exact same time as everybody else. Usually anymore, I do my thing and I do it like a day late, because in that way mine kind of doesn't I mean, yeah, it's a day late, but then you're seeing my stuff and it's not just lost with everybody else's. Um, I used to hardly watch YouTube at all, cut too much into my video gaming. Now I hardly play video games and watch YouTube all the time. Thanks, Hungry Heath. I haven't played video games since like the first PlayStation. I played Tony Hawk 2 like a weirdo. I love that game. See, here's Chris Cook in Nashville. I bet your ears were burning because we've been talking about you. Get to go back and listen from the beginning to know if it's good or bad, though. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello, hello, hello. I was just talking about you, Chris, saying that I was going to make your bread today. And then Matt's talking about the pizza crust. John Guggenheim just said, I tried Noodle Revolution pasta made from egg whites. It was pretty good, but I prefer Lupin pasta. The best brand I found is Kaizen. I haven't tried that yet. I've tried the perfect keto pasta. I mean, because they sent it to me. And I bought a bunch too. So I mean, they sent it to me initially, and then I bought a bunch because I liked it. Let's see. Hungry, he says I gotta run. Got a lot of chores to do. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm gonna get a nap in today. How rude. Let's see. Glad you all enjoyed it. Have a good day, Heath. Let's see. Thanks for watching her video. That means a lot to her. Yeah, especially in the very beginning when you're starting to be a creator, and people and channels that you look up to will comment on your stuff or come into your live. It means a lot because I mean, this isn't a, I mean, especially because with this kind of stuff, there's so much involved, and you do want that validation because there's so much work and effort and everything that goes into it. You want to make sure you're doing a good job. We're humans. We all want validation. And it's good when, when your peers come in and give that validation. So whenever like new channels come in, I try to go in and comment on videos. I try to go in and comment as much as I can. Sometimes I'll sit down and take like an hour and just go and just comment on videos, whether I get to watch them all or not. I'll usually watch some of videos and stuff. I was like, just sometimes it is kind of overwhelming sometimes. So I'll pick videos to watch all the way through and then comment on other ones. And I just try to make sure that share the love with people. You're doing a good job. This video looks good. The color looks good. I mean, even things like the recipe looks good. Look the your filming looks awesome. Your editing's on point. All these things go a long way. So, when you're watching content from all these creators, I mean, we do talk about monetization. We do talk about trying to make a little bit of money back because we are operating in the red always with projects and labors of love like this. So I mean, even whether or not you are somebody who is able to support a channel monetarily or just go in and go, I watched your video, your camera work's getting better, the editing's getting better, because that means a lot to us. It really truly does. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things. Like, I don't think you're ever going to find that kind of stuff where like total carbs is going to make a difference if it's an actual manufactured product outside of like cone jack stuff and all that, the stuff that tastes like weird. I don't know. She's slowly building her channel and growing little by little. That's all you got. That's the only way you can do it. So much trash. So much trash. Yeah, consistency, and like when I first started, I was trying to figure and learn all the ways I could do things, building my own little like I went in and was like dealing with and building my own things, like the little things that say like subscribe and or like click on, go to Twitter and my Twitter is this and my Instagram is this. And yeah, now I just put subscribe in there and I don't do as much now. But I think, now I'm gonna, I mean, when you're trying to do that, you're trying to make sure your audio sounds good, because if your audio isn't good and people can't hear you clearly, they're very less likely to click on it. If you click on a video and it's very loud and noisy and there's like humming and stuff in it, it's like "Meow," and they're talking and it sounds far away. I mean, even if the information is very, very important, the average viewer is going to go, I can watch something else. So I mean, those little things like that truly make a difference in the creators who do put the effort into making sure that everything sounds clear and looks good and color looks good and they're editing and they're trying to make themselves better goes so long way when just say, I go in and I'll tell I have friends that are doing podcasts and stuff like, look, your colors look great. I mean, I know because I know it really means something. Let's see. I bought a bunch of 88 lupin pasta using Steve's code. It's very good, but I find Kaizen to be a little bit better. I haven't tried either one of those. Any encouragement keeps a creator running on all cylinders more than people know. Yeah, I mean 1000%. And that's okay. So when I started this channel, my channel started in February of 2020. The first video went up about January, February of 2020. My friend edited the video for me because I had no idea what I was doing. So I just recorded a video with my phone, sent it to him. He edited it, put it up, and it just sat there. I mean, I got like 800 views, which is phenomenal for one video on one channel, nothing else going on. And then I did the channel, and then I started doing the channel in 2021 in January, and it wasn't till December of 2023 that I really found community with this with my channel. I didn't have community. I was putting out lots of videos, I was putting out recipes, and I was growing okay, you know what I mean? I was able to get monetized and all that stuff, but I didn't have a community. And it wasn't till and I've told this story, I probably have, but Jackie, who lives in my area, was doing a meetup. And I saw it, and it was just down the street from our house. So at the time, Shander wasn't working weekends every weekend, so she and I went, and we went to a BW3 meetup, and that's where I met Jackie. I met Bob, and who's in here, Big Bob. I met Jennifer Lucas. I met Don and Mike from Don's Keto, Don Does Keto. Uh, getting confused with Jackie's Keto Journey. And I met M and uh, Ready Set Keto. I don't know why I can't think of James's name. Emily and James. My brain is not firing on all cylinders today, but I met a lot of great people. And from meeting those people, I found a community. And that's really what I wanted, but it's kind of hard to know how to do that. Because and I mean, it's like, there's so many channels out there. And then there are channels out there that are big, but they don't seem to involve themselves with the community very much. And I understand, but at the same time, I'm like, how can you not? How can you be a part of the community and help a community, but then not really like interact with the community? And I understand, and I know when you get to be like two, three, 400,000, a million subscribers, that becomes difficult. And I know Dr. Barry does it at 3 million subscribers, but that's kind of who he is. And that's his brand as being part of the community because he's kind of like the head of the community, if you will. And that's what I was lacking. I was making all the content, I was making the videos, and I would get comments and stuff, but it was never quite the same. It wasn't like it is now where I know who you are and we get to know each other. Then I went to my first KPL in 2023. I went to a bunch more meetups in 2023. I went to like 2 Ohio meetups, and things just became real for me because I don't want to just be someone who puts videos on the internet. I don't want to be somebody who just makes content and tries to make a lot of money. I mean, I want to make enough money to make this sustainable. I mean, that's no secret. I'm very honest and open about that because that is one of the most difficult things you can do with content creation is actually make it sustainable to where it's not like where I can go buy a new camera if I need to without being like panicked or like because I had my GoPro die and it took me a couple of months to go get a new one, or my computer was like having issues and I had to go buy a laptop. Being able to do things like that to keep the channel going is and not have to like take out a loan or something to go do it is so important. So that's where the community comes into play. That's where all of this is, and I'm so very thankful for all of you guys. So, like Chris Cook in Nashville coming in here and talking with us, and John Gugahan being here every week, and Cindy being like my secondary mom because, my mom's been gone a long time. She's been gone almost 11 years now. So, s- same thing with Jennifer Lucas. She's like my mom too, like I have this really close sense of community. Like, I know, like, I mean, if I need to talk, there's plenty of people here who would listen, and that really means a lot to me. And so I just want to let everybody know I don't take that for granted. And that's why I talk about things like, if whether you can support one of your creators or not, the people you like the most monetarily, leave comments, share the videos. Those are so big things that don't, that's just huge, you know? So, I mean, because we want people like Chris to be able to continue to make the amazing recipes that he does and be able to focus and be as creative as he can and not have to worry about all the stuff that life throws at you when you're trying to be a creator. You know what I mean? Like Cindy says that she's not a subscriber and only placed one order, maybe two since starting keto and got those cans. I wonder what that was because I mean I've ordered it once, but I can't remember if I ordered it through oh, I can't remember if I ordered it through Amazon or directly from them, but I had ordered unflavored element before. So, because I like their unflavored, it's basically to me like the unflavored element and the unflavored salty are like 1-to-1 comparisons. So you can't go wrong with either one. It's a matter of which company you would rather support. Um, I mean, if you're going to do that, I would say support Salty. They're a small business, and I actually know them. I don't know Rob Wolf, so um, appreciate all the keto carnivore creators out there. It's a significant part of building community and my own weight loss journey. Yeah, I mean, and Where would I be without all of you? I don't even want to think about that. I would still be doing what I'm doing, but it wouldn't be the same. Stacy, good morning, Stacy. Let's see here. I mean, coffee is important. I've been talking so much, I've been drinking, but I mean, it's kind of rude to sit here and just go, "Mm." This lid, my nose. So this lid has a teeny tiny hole here. So when you're drinking, like the air goes in and you can get the coffee out. My nose plugs the hole all the time. So I got to be careful. Chris says, Dustin, your example isn't fair. You have that majestic beauty and glorious beard you're working with that the rest of us have to compete with. Not fair. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I'm funny and intelligent and I'm extremely good looking. Some of us just get dealt aces. You know what I mean? I can't say that stuff with a straight face. It's hilarious. Thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, interaction. It's like, you know, like it's just I think one of the first comments I left on one of Chris's videos was like, watching your video and understanding what it takes to make the content that you make, like it's incredible, like how much effort must go into every recipe he makes because his recipes are so in depth and there's so many moving parts to his recipes that he has to have made some of the stuff he's trying to make had to been stinkers to get it just right. Because I know that the stuff, I mean, I don't necessarily post a lot of the failures, but so, I mean, sometimes it just doesn't come out right, and I'm just like, and it doesn't even look good on video, so I'm not gonna. If it doesn't look good and doesn't come out right, it's not gonna make much of a difference. I mean, I released the pudding fail that I made trying to make mayonnaise pudding. That was a blunder, but I understand like it's a lot of work, and he's doing like looks like multicam things going on and something. Like I know his wife's helping him film and stuff. So there's like a conceited effort, like to do. I mean, and then just the amount of work that goes into these recipes, like not just having the idea, like the refried bean idea. Like I'm never going to make that recipe. I watched it because I'm not a bean. That's one of the best things about keto in my entire existence is I don't have an excuse to eat beans anymore because they're too carby, and I'm not going to eat a bean replacement. But I totally love the fact that he put that much work into it for everybody who does and will eat it. I'm like watching the video and I'm like, what? Just the work. I mean, you can't watch one of his videos and not see the amount of detail and work that goes into making his videos. And I'm not trying to just be like, toot, toot, toot. You know what I mean? Legitimate. And I mean, then all you guys make his video or make his recipes and you love them. So keep doing it. Who are we talking about? I don't know. I know that Chris has been here a couple of weeks, like maybe 3 or 4 weeks now, but he's pretty new to knowing who I am too. So, um, yeah. Let's see. I started my channel about a year ago, lingering at 679 subscribers, 2,700 watch hours, 300 more to go, then another 1,221 to get 600. So yeah, because you can get so once you hit 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, you can get partially monetized where you can do things like super chat, super stickers, create like communities where you can do the join button. Um, do live. I mean, you do lives, so the lives are going to help you a lot, Cindy. I mean, you're doing lives quite a bit, um, but lives are going to be a big part of your hours. Um, unless you have a video that just goes crazy viral. But then the problem with that is you got to maintain that because you have to maintain the 4,000 hours every year. So it's like the hours, it's the hours or whatever time you got yesterday drops off 364 days from then. So, yeah, it's kind of a convoluted setup, but well, yeah. I mean, I so the messed up thing is like I see my grandma everywhere I go. I see women out and like they'll be dressed kind of like her, especially like in the wintertime. It's a lot during the winter because my grandma always wore this like white hat and like a big red coat, and she was small, she was little, and I'll see her everywhere. And I'm like, oh, there's my grandma. Oh. She passed away when she was 90. So she passed away in 2023, 2022. Yeah, she died when she was 90 because she was born in 1932. So she died a week after her 90th birthday. So she had the tenacity to make it to 90. So yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was not home much yesterday, and then I got home late on Friday, so I totally forgot. I always leave comments. You can't shut me up. That's the thing is we love that. Like every time we open like our YouTube app and we don't see a comment, it's like, oh, I maybe I am. I'm like, like when you open up like your YouTube Studio app and you don't see like new subscribers. Let's see. Currently watching on 3 screens at our house, getting you more watch hours, doing our part to help. I don't know unless you're watching with 3 accounts. I don't know if that'll impact watch hours or not. YouTube's pretty savvy when it comes to that. And Christy says she can't compete with a beard at all. I mean, what are you gonna do? I I don't know. Maybe chia. Looking forward to June 21st with Ash on our live. Watched her video the other day. Beautiful. Yeah, I watched her singing the other day, yesterday, I think it was too. Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool if you had like a compilation of failed ones. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Like I was trying to make this and this happened. There's like a goblin walking around. I don't know. My mind is a weird place, so bear with me. What? It would be cool. I mean, if everybody had a beard like me, then no one would know. I mean, everyone's like, I saw your doppelganger. I mean, it's not hard to be bald with a beard and glasses. I'm kind of everywhere. Everywhere you want to be. I love it. Yes. I'm looking forward to KPL. Who's looking forward to KPL? I'm looking forward to KPL. Steph wants to make your new bread recipe. I need to figure out how to make make these bread recipes without a stand mixer and hopefully without burning up a bunch of like the hand mixers or taking too long. So I'm going to be working on that because I don't necessarily want to waste all that time on that. So. Oh, you guys are on Spotify? That's pretty awesome. Listen, I just told Brian how you say I'm your bonus mom. He told me to put you in timeout. I always tell Logan, I was like, put me in timeout. Put me in timeout. Put me in timeout. Because she hates timeout. I'm like, put me in timeout. I'll close my eyes. I'll be out. I'll nap anytime, anywhere. Anytime, anywhere. I hope you get to spend a lot of time with her. Because that was one thing that I would just like try to spend as much time with my grandma as I could and try to hold her hand as much as I could. And, you know, this is so cool by design. I am certain with the black top and the black background, you were just a floating head. Hey, I've got arms. And again, take a look at my buddy. My buddy Danny did this painting here. I made a community post about it. I made a post on Instagram about it. Go follow him. Watch his content as well. He does painting. He does pretty good stuff. really awesome. I mean, he made this for me and it's amazing. It looks like if you can see it close up, it looks like it's stitched, but it's painted. So take a look at that stuff. It's super awesome. My buddy Danny, he's amazing. KP, yeah, we are ready. I'm not going to hack your health first. I want that so that's one thing. Like if I could make the decent amount of money from YouTube, I would go to like hack your health, low carb for better health. I would go to Keto Orlando. I would try to go to all the big things and see people as much as I can. That's one thing that I would use the money for. Um, but that stuff's, I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to go to these things. Like, I mean, Keto Palooza for just me by myself is I mean, I am trying to split the room. I think Adam's supposed to split the room with me. So, I mean, even still, we're talking like, with expenses and everything, it's still like comes probably close to $1,000 per one person just to go to KPL. And then if you like, I don't can drive down there, but if you have to fly, that's like 500-600 bucks, maybe if you get lucky with airfare for prices. And then you're like, then your hotel stay, your stuff, your food, and then anything you want to buy at those places, all the stuff. I would love to be able to go to every one of those and see everybody and meet people and walk around and just geek out with everybody. But that takes a lot more money because the way my bank account is set up, it doesn't have enough zeros. So it has a zero, but just not the right place. It's the wrong side of the decimal point. Anyway, we're all looking forward to KPL, Keto Orlando. We wish we were going to KPL because we have to settle for Keto Orlando. See, that thing is, I would love to be able to go down to, I would be like Keto Orlando and then a couple of days at Disney because I'm a Disney person. My wife and I are trying to make it at least one keto event every year. This year it's KPL. If you're going to go to one keto event every year, it should always be KPL. Well, that's my thing is like if I'm going to put the investment into one, I want to get one that's going to last. And I know KitchenAids will last. But I mean, I've seen other ones like I think Drew Barrymore has a line at Walmart now, and you can buy a stand mixer for like $80. But like, will that just? I mean, if I make 7 loaves of bread with that or like whatever, is that going to burn out the motor over time, like real quick? That's what I'm looking at. Like, I want to make sure that I'm buying something that's going to be able to give me the use that I don't want to have to spend $80 and then get a new one every 6 months. And I would just, that's my thing when it comes to buying that kind of stuff. KPL, KPL. I'm sure there would be nothing against them sitting around playing the acoustic guitar and stuff and having a good time. Uh, I mean, I don't know how the hotel would like it, but you know, I have a friend that grew up in that independent music, that is an independent musician, and I love the indie music scene. So I'm a person. So I grew up in the music scene, and I still deal with the music scene, and I have friends in bands, and but most of the people that I'm in, like most of the people that I'm friends with, are more into the extreme music type stuff. So stuff that most of you probably, and I'm going to generalize here, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption that most of the stuff that I am into on a personal level is outside of the spectrum of what most people here would be interested in. Like, um, usually like like the metal, death metal, extremes type music and stuff. That's what I like. Um, it's just how it is. I've been into that stuff as long as I can remember. So, I mean, I still love all the old stuff. I love all kinds of stuff. Like one thing that drives me nuts is someone's like, I don't like your type of music. Well, I like a lot of stuff. I really do. I mean, I listen to a lot of Taylor Swift, but that's because the 5-year-old is a Wifty. But yeah, I just think I love independent music. Um, a lot of my friends' bands are on small labels, and some friends of mine are on tour right now, and just another group of friends are just starting another band. They're recording their first thing as this so friends of mine, they were basically three of the members were in a band called Demiricus, started in the mid 2000s. They put out 2 records, they went on a, a major label records. They went on tour a bunch, and then they've tried to resurface a few times, but there was just inner turmoil in the band. Now, there 3 of those members are coming back, and they're called Ritual. Um, and then the drummer from that band is also in the band called Flesher. And then there's just so many amazing bands out there, especially in the indie area where I'm at in Indianapolis. There's just a thriving metal scene, and it's kind of crazy. I've been friends with so many different bands over the years, and that's really what I mean. That's something that I love, very passionate about, but it's something that, you know, I get to do away from this. So, yeah, Cindy, you know what's going on. Let's see. It says, I can do without the bread, prefer noodles. I've been making Chris's cooking Nashville pasta. They are good with just butter. Ooh, butter. Let's see. If you want to get an upper body workout, you could use a whisk. Whose video did I watch? Um, I watched a video not too long ago, and they used just like a hand whisk to make like stiff peaks in something, and it was Dylan. Um, he does all the old timey recipes. He does a lot of short content. Um, and he did a whisk making stiff peaks and took him like 15 minutes, and I was like, I don't know. Your arm will fall off. We are looking forward to KPL. Gardening season will be over. Funny that we grow a garden to give most of it away or feed the chickens. Need to figure out how to grow bacon and burger. I mean, I would garden things. I mean, I don't know how much you guys eat or if you're fully carnivore or whatever, but like sometimes like good cabbage is good. Cabbage is good sometimes. Just cabbage and butter and bacon is delicious sometimes. Broccoli's good. Brussels sprouts are good. I don't think I could ever be fully carnivore, like fully long term, because I do enjoy broccoli. I enjoy Brussels sprouts and cabbage sometimes and cauliflower stuff, and I enjoy that stuff. It's not a primary focus of my way of eating, but I do feel best when I am doing carnivore. But I don't think adding in vegetables every once in a while makes much of a difference to me. And I think it just kind of adds more sustainability to the whole lifestyle as a whole. So that's how I kind of look at it. You know what I mean? Wendy with Loving on Keto uses one. I'll take a look and see. I have a whole work stand mixer as well as a smaller, older KitchenAid that's too small to make the egg white bread. We'll have to look and see what brand that is and all that stuff. That's what I want. I mean, but they're like $400. I know they have them on sale at Costco all the time, and we'll have to see. We'll just have to see. Because if I actually bought it, would I actually make the bread? Would I actually? Because I haven't really put the effort into it right as of now to make it or even try. So I think what I'll do first is probably buy like like a hand mixer because we gave our old one, which was just a cheap Walmart one, to our middle kid. He always our kids shop at our house and take stuff. So, but yeah. I did whipped cream with a whisk once. My arm was sore for a while. I couldn't. Yeah. I don't even know if it'd be possible. Ear hustling on a walk with my dog. So glad I caught you today. I'm so glad. Thank you so much for being here, Scott. I appreciate you. Are you going to KPL, Scott? I'm speaking your musical language. Well, let me know. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm into like super extreme music, and a lot of people are like, I love extreme music, like Disturbed. No, mm-mm, nope, not anything like that. But yeah, yeah, like I love it. Let's see. I have made the butter mayo with a whisk, and I have made the butter mayo with a whisk, and time it took me 12 minutes with just right hand. Oh man, makes my arm tired thinking about it. Let's see. Yeah, take some serious effort on the wrist. Let's see. Always looking for a new metal band. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, Reach out and I'll set you up. Let's see. Like I got tickets to see Tomb Mold coming up. I'm excited to see Tomb Mold. They're going to be fun. Um, they're playing indie for the first time that I've known about. They may have played here before. They've got like 6 or 7 albums or something like that. But yeah, Taylor Whiff sounds like a good perfume. But she doesn't. Her S's just aren't there yet. So Taylor whiffed. Let's see. You just made the bread. Let's see. Just make sure the bread doesn't become part of the batter when whisking. Okay. Oh, beard. Oh, the beard. Yeah, that would be not a good thing. I'd just tuck it in my shirt. Yeah, Dylan Hollis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dylan Hollis. Yeah. Let's see. Dylan Hollis did a video doing that. Maybe same one that led me to the final idea for my new bread. Full circle conversation. Yeah. Dylan doesn't make anything like keto friendly or anything like that, but I love his content. The dude cracks me up. And he seems genuinely nice too. Kohl's has a Hamilton Beach mixer on sale for 120. Plus, you can use 20% off coupon on it. Oh, to take a look at that too. Oh, take it easy, John. I hope I didn't miss you. Have a good one. See you next Sunday. I do dairy like I put heavy cream in my coffee every day, so I do dairy. Do. Um, and every once in a while I buy some of the I can't think of the name of like the milk that has like the milk that's out now, like that's like half the carbs. It doesn't have like lactose free milk that's like super popular right now. It's like $5 for like half a gallon. But I buy that every once in a while to mix in with like stuff and and I just miss milk too. So if I can get away with a little bit of it, I'm gonna do it a little bit. I just checked Amazon. The whole work is 119. I'll have to take a look and see which one I like best. Pro tip: get a KitchenAid for the breads, then get an expensive meat grinder, grind your own burger, and make the money back. That's what I'm doing now. Hmm. But I mean, but like so like if you're like how much are you getting the beef for to grind it into your own burger? Because ground beef is typically cheaper than other meat you'll buy to ground into burger. So let me know about that too. So an Ace, cool, okay. A lot of good examples here. Looks like the whole work has a bigger bowl than the Hamilton Beach, so that's a better deal. Yeah, I would need the bigger bowl. The KitchenAid meat grinder attachment on Amazon are inexpensive and do a great job. Let's see. I am not. Would love to go to KPO, but can't afford the trip this year. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean it's a commitment. I mean any of these conferences are a commitment. That's what I would like to get to. Like I said, that's why I would like to get the channel to a point where the channel can fund me to go to these things and I can make content and go live while I'm there and all that stuff. Let's see. Got the 8.5 quart bowl. So we are fully carnivore as we use dehydrated veggies and seasonings for dishes, but neither of us eat like a side of veggies anymore. My body just feels better without it. Yeah, and I mean, and that's 100%. Do what makes you feel best. But like, I mean, even I feel best, but sometimes I just want broccoli. I just crave that buttery broccoli goodness. Let's see. I have the meat grinder and other attachments for the KitchenAid we do have. All right. Let's see what we've got here. If you have a butcher, you can get beef trimmings for a good price. Use that when making your own ground beef. Before I went carnivore, I gave my KitchenAid to my sister-in-law because I got it as a gift and never used it once. Now I want it back. That's the thing is I never bothered. I never needed a stand mixer. Never really bothered to think about having a stand mixer. And like, yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Brenda. Thank you for being here. Time got away. Well, you just go back and listen from the beginning. It's fine. When we're all done, do the replay thing. Brisket goes on sale at places like Kroger, $2.99 a pound. The cheapest ground beef I've ever found regularly was $3.99 a pound. So I save $1 per pound and get brisket to grind. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Um, but typically, I mean, we buy the cheap burger too. We get like the we get I think it might be 360 a pound though. Like $36 for 10 pounds or something like that. We'll buy that. Or I eat a lot of frozen burger patties, like the Walmart frozen patties. So yeah, I would like to do something like that, but then I wonder if I have the time to do something like that too. But I mean, and then yeah, we have used the meat grinder for chicken and ham and made some chicken salad, ham salad. I get craving sweets and bread, but broccoli I just don't get. That's the weird thing. Like I never really ate broccoli until we went keto. I never had Brussels sprouts until we were keto. And then like I never really truly understood like how much I like broccoli until I started cooking it. And then like I'll put a whole stick of butter in there and then a little garlic powder, salt. Delicious. Yes. Yes. All right, everybody. I just want to say thank you all so much for being here. We are an hour and 46 minutes in. Um Richard and Autumn go live in about 10 minutes. So I want everybody to go over to her live, say hello to her. I want to say thank you to everybody who subscribes, who is a subscriber, comes here, talks with me every single week. Those who just make this such a pleasure and something that I truly look forward to. A reason to get up early on a Sunday morning and hang out with you guys. Thank you so much for all of my wonderful members. Thank you so, so very much for joining me today. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. Hold each other a little closer today. Like I said, um, just kind of bad things happen. Like my friend's father passed away this week, and just kind of dealing with that with him, and just goes to show you that you need to hold everybody in closer, a little closer. Make sure that everybody knows that you truly care about them, and show your love to everybody. I love each and every one of you, and I can't wait to meet those who I haven't met already. Hopefully, I will be seeing a good amount of you come on the 18th. We'll be getting together on the 18th. It'll be a lot of fun. See you all soon. I look forward to it. I truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. You have no idea, like, truly how much it means to me that you all come out and hang out with me every Sunday. And with that, we'll see you on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.